Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Stumbling across this was not a mistake, my friend. You're a children of the sun, and I want to remind you that you're discovering an undiscovered potential that's within you. When I say to you, you're the children of the sun, it means that within you is a seed of undiscovered potential, and you're discovering it each month more. But one of the greatest discoveries is that we recognize that we naturally feel drawn into a certain specific direction, towards a certain specific knowledge. And what's even more incredible is, more we dig deeper, more we dive deeper into that certain knowledge, we recognize like certain memories within our souls are awakening. And suddenly we recognize, well, it feels like I've heard that before. It feels like I knew that before. It feels like I'm not truly studying something new. I'm more like remembering something old that was always present within my soul, right? And that's what it means, you're a children of the sun. I've made this video under the number 333, because number 3 is such a sacred number, and we are in the month of March, that comes under the number 3, and it reminds us that mind and body are guided by intuition, and that voice can be more powerful than any external leader or guide. You can in tune with its native wisdom through quietness, and for that we use meditation. Generate its connection and focus on who you are becoming as a more intelligent, enlightened, wiser and happier self, as you're becoming every single day, right? Every single day you have a chance to discover something new, and it's all about tapping into that childlike curiosity for learning, but at the same time practicing. Because what Morpheus said in the movie The Matrix, he said there is a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. We are being reminded right now to ask ourselves, what if I know much more than I'm practicing? What if my actions are not really reflecting my knowledge, right? Because maybe you know a lot, but you feel like your life sucks. Do you feel like that? Or you feel like you know so much, but you're still suffering? How often we feel like that? We know so much. When a friend comes to us, we know all possible advices that can help that person, but when it comes to us, we don't know how to help ourselves. Well, it's not true that you don't know how to help yourself. What is true is that you're not walking your talk. And this is a reminder, as month of March is a month of reconnection and liberation from toxic energy behaviors and unnecessary belief systems and thoughts from the past. So we can embody what's present within us, so we can tap deeper into our roots and strengthen the pillar of the self, the pillar we call I am. We need to strengthen that so we can ground ourselves. And that is an important reminder right now. Because when we look into this world of polarity, I want to remind you, you need love, not worries. You need trust, not doubt. You need clarity, not overthinking. But one exists because of the other. So be patient with yourself and recognize what side of polarity you are feeding with your attention the most. Isn't that powerful? You need love, not worries, but what you are feeding most of the time, love or worries? You need trust, not doubt, what you are feeding most of the time. How to feed trust? Well, do the thing. How to feed doubt? Lose yourself in worrying, right? Keep losing yourself in worrying and suddenly you will not do anything, but you will feel exhausted. If you're in tune with the collective consciousness right now, we may all feel exhausted. Because so much of that old toxic energy is coming out. Have you noticed that the energy of the earth is rising so much? Have you noticed the solar flares? Have you noticed that sun is changing? The energy is changing because everything affects everything. That's why if you go into the ancient Egypt, you can recognize the symbols and hieroglyphs of people praising the sun. Not the Son of God, but what the Son of God was teaching them about the sun. Sun gives life to everything. When sun starts projecting something new, it means that something new is changing everything. But in order to change, you need to let go of what's not allowing you to change, right? And in order to let go of what is not allowing you to change, you need to recognize what's not allowing you to change. You need to become aware of what's holding you back. And for that, you need to dive deep into toxicity for a bit, to recognize how to declutter the things that are not serving you anymore. And that's what's happening in the collective consciousness right now. People are becoming aware of the toxicity they've been exposed to. The toxicity in our diet, toxicity in our thoughts, toxicity in information, toxicity in our relationships, toxicity in everywhere. And suddenly, all that dark energy is all around us because it needs to be released. And that is a beautiful moment. As I said, March is a month of reconnection and liberation. We need to liberate ourselves. So what it means? It means that you decide each moment, okay, I don't want to bring this into my future. I don't want to be a prisoner of my past because I'm the architect of my future. So if I'm the architect of my future, it means that I'm planting the seeds right now. If I'm planting the seeds with the same mind as yesterday, what will grow out of it is the same as I've already experienced. Which comes to the change of mind. You need to change your mind. Change how you think and you will change your mind, right? But we can recognize, well, I'm changing the way I think, but my emotional system is not changing. No, because it needs a release. Emotional system needs a release because you've been ignoring yourself for such a long time. That's why February was so intense when it comes to energy, because February is a month of purification. And if you were really present with yourself, you've learned how to listen to your body, how to listen to your emotions. And it's never too late to in tune with your body and ask yourself what you need. Not physically, like not what you need when it comes to some, of course, self-care and all of that is important. But what you think attention-wise, right? Because how often you pay attention to yourself, like to your loved ones. You sit down and you just listen to yourself. How often you do that? Because that's where you're in tune with your intuition. So the second thing I want to remind you with this video, nurture connection with your intuition. 333, right? A divine sign that you're being guided, supported, and that you're spiritually evolving. So what is a spiritual evolution? It's a process of remembering who you are, which means that here and there we experience a sense of disturbance because some old memories may be fighting with new knowledge and we don't know what's real and what's not real. And for that we need to in tune with our hearts, right? We need to slow down and we need to listen to ourselves, what I really need right now. And for that, my friends, you need to check your core values and adapt your lifestyle to them. Why is that important? If we are not living by our values, we are living by values of somebody else. And when we look around us, we may recognize, well, some important values are missing in this society, in this system, in the matrix. Some important values are missing. And if that system is determining my values, then it's time to stop and reevaluate our lives, right? So every single day, I ask myself, am I embodying my values? I have some important values like creative expression, truth, honesty, peace, being connected, being a good listener, being grounded, health, balance, trust, adaptation to change, resilience. Those are my values. And if I'm not when I feel that my life is going out of balance, I ask myself, well, what value of that list I'm not embodying right now? Where have I lost myself? And that's how I'm teaching from my own behaviors. And one important practice I can give you today for studying your own behaviors is that every single day, before you fall into sleep, you can do it in your bed, reflect your day in a reverse direction. Like from the moment you've laid in bed, go backwards until you reach your morning. In details, reflect your day and see where you've fallen off grace, where you've fallen off the track, where you've been emotionally reactive, where could you do things differently than you did, and just study that. Eventually, you will see that your focus, your attention will become stronger, your ability to visualize will become stronger, your memory will increase, because you're training yourself to see details, to catch where you've fallen off the grace. And next time when something similar will happen, you will respond differently. It is a really powerful practice, and it changed so much in my life. Because now I'm able to recognize, okay, here I'm falling off, and I say to myself, I will not do things that way anymore because there's a wiser way to behave here. Let's embody that wiser me that's already living within me. Let's let go of this pattern, right? And for that, you need to reflect your life, because only that way you can learn. It's not about just following some guidance you may find all over the place, but really studying your own patterns, learning from yourself, because that's how you're spiritually evolving. Studying your own patterns and recalibrating yourself, changing what's not working in your favor and in the favor of the good for all. That is really, really incredible. Another thing I want to give you is to remind you that, as I mentioned before, March is a month of agriculture, and our life is a garden, right? How well we are taking care of the garden. Remember that old quote, stop chasing the butterflies, but rather take care of your inner garden and butterflies will come. The quality of the plant always depends on the quality of the seed. And the quality of the seed depends on the quality of your clarity. And clarity is cultivated in the quietness and deep conversations. Again, the polarity of the path towards clarity is quietness and deep conversations, right? We need these two different things in order to maintain and cultivate clarity. So when we don't like how our lives are, it's because we are lacking clarity. We are lacking clarity for the things we want. We are lacking clarity when we are designing our habits. We are lacking clarity when we are making choices. When it comes to diet, when it comes to our actions, when it comes to our creative expression, we are lacking clarity, right? That's why it's so hard for many people to be creative, but you are creative by nature. So if you don't feel creative, it means that you're lacking clarity. The quality of the plant depends on the quality of the seed. And when you're planting seeds, with each thought, with each action, it all comes to clarity. So, as I mentioned, work on cultivating clarity. In quietness, as I mentioned before, nurture connection with your intuition, but also nurture inner quietness. Can you sit down with yourself in quietness for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes? Can you do that? Can you expand it to 15 minutes maybe? Let's see how much your mind will change. You know, in neuroplasticity, when we change the way we think, when we train ourselves to sit in quietness, we are changing our brain, and therefore our brain starts functioning in more harmonious way. That's the science of neuroplasticity. You can change your brain. And that is the beauty of yourself being an architect of the future. When you don't like something, you can change it. 333, a reminder that you are the creator, the co-creator here on an important mission. You haven't just been born on purpose. You've also been born with the purpose. And it's time for you to recognize more of that sense. And for that, we need to adapt our habits. You need to adapt your habits to a new you. So what it means, every single day you know a bit more about yourself. You can say, yeah, that's true, or you can say, no, it's not true. But you can't deny that every single day you are a bit different. Like the ancient Greek philosopher said, no man steps into the same river twice, right? Because every single day we get to experience maybe similar events, but we can approach them differently. We can make some different choices. And most importantly, we can be a bit more aware and conscious at making choices. And if life is a product of tiny little choices we make on moment-by-moment basis, it comes again to the quality of our choices. And choices we are making on frequent basis become our habits. And Andy Warhol said, they always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself, right? So time changes things, but at the same time, we need to change things. And it all comes to our actions. So, are you willing to sacrifice who you are for who you could be? Are you willing to adapt your habits to a life that can be more fulfilling to you and let go and release that old system that is not working for you anymore? The system of actions, the system of thoughts, the system of beliefs, so you can adapt yourself to a wiser, braver, and happier self. This is who you are becoming, my friend. So just remind yourself that every single day you're planting the seeds. March, that is in front of you, will be a beautiful month. But remind yourself that your life is a garden, and each moment you're cultivating it, you're planting the seeds, and you're taking care of them. Make sure that you take care of the seeds. That you're not like you plant the seed and the next day you want to dig it out to see how many roots have grown out of it. Right? If you do that, nothing will grow. Make sure that you stay consistent with your values. Make sure that you do what you're valuing. Make sure that you follow what you know. Make sure that you do what you know. So my friends, I will leave you here. I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting. Thanks to all of you for supporting my art in my Etsy shop, I Draw My Passion. You're all truly appreciated. I love you all. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings and power. Till next time, one love.